An attempt at piecing together a broken ceasefire. The UN's envoy Martin Griffiths is back in Yemen, calling on warring sides to follow the truce they agreed to. Months of negotiations cracked within weeks. He was met by cancer patients who demand the Sana'a airport be reopened. They are among the thousands of patients who cannot travel out of Yemen for life-saving treatments, one of the many consequences of the ongoing war.
We would like to tell the world that there are those who are besieging us in Sana'a and in the rest of the provinces, that there are those who prevent us from water and medicine, equipment, facilities and medical devices. Every day we have 6,000 passengers who cannot leave this airport.
There have been reports of attacks and repeated violations. A mother and her child were killed in the residential area of Taiz. At least 16 people were injured by Houthi artillery shelling. On Friday, at least 15 people were killed in clashes between Yemen's UAE-backed forces and locals in the southern province of Sahawa, a far cry from the expectations of a ceasefire agreement signed in Sweden on December 18th. In the port city of Hodeida, the lifeline to deliver aid to the rest of the country, protesters are calling on the UN to enforce the full ceasefire and for Yemen's government to follow it. They accuse the Saudi-led coalition of carrying out low-altitude flights over the city. But the blame goes both ways. The coalition accuses Houthi fighters of remaining in 3 ports despite a previous agreement to leave. Amid negotiations and unstable agreements, the worst humanitarian crisis in recent history continues, with more than 14 million Yemenis on the brink of famine. After Yemen, Griffiths plans to visit Saudi Arabia to meet with exiled Yemeni President abd-rabbu Mansur Hadi. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is scheduled to stop in Riyadh and the UAE next week. The war in Yemen will likely be at the top of the agenda. Another attempt to enforce and ultimately save a fragile ceasefire, with lingering optimism that both sides will comply. Katia, Lopez, Hodoyan, Al Jazeera.